Welcome all. According to a research, India has the second highest number of English speaker population in the world, as it is the second language for a vast majority of the people in our country, where many religion, regional languages are used. A lot of errors creep into the grammar as well as vocabulary of an average English speaker in India. So these to avoid this kind of mistakes, whether it is in the writing or speaking, especially as a non-native speaker, it has its own set of problems. Grammatical errors comes in many forms and can easily confuse. Some common errors are with especially with the prepositions. Most importantly, subject verb agreement, tenses, punctuation, spellings, and other parts of speech, different kinds of. Whereas especially prepositions are tricky and confusing and significant in the sentence construction especially. So I would like to tell you what are the common mistakes even generally most advanced student involved in making such kind of mistakes. So as a one kind of initiative that has been taken to aware you all that I have learned something here. I am not telling that I have ever learned, but the things that I have learned, I would like to make you learn and I would like to make you relish in English language. So here onwards, I would like to tell you around I have collected around 120 mistakes. We often do mistakes. So to prevent them, just watch all the videos, and by going through all these videos, definitely you can learn and you can use them accordingly and appropriately. So that is my motto. That is why only just I'm taking this much of efforts. Please support my efforts and please let me have your support for all the days to move forward. So among them, let's get started our class. As I mentioned, prepositions are very tricky. Just if time permits, I'll go ahead with all the different parts, and I'm going to make it more and more parts on it. And today we will go through two prepositions. It's not two, actually by differentiation as two, actually three prepositions. Those are according to, across, and through. So let's see the first one, according to. Actually according to, it's a preposition and which we use to express by state. Actually we use according to. First let me tell you the discussion and the reference. Actually we use according to express one opinion according to law or according to some instructions. So if we wanted to use or if we want to say our opinion by using according to that, say not a correct one, say, but for that we can see an example. According to me, she should have resigned earlier. In my opinion, she should have resigned earlier. Why the first sentence was incorrect and why the second sentence was correct? Here's used to that. We do not give our opinion with according to. Actually, what is the meaning of according to? Right, according, the word itself is an adverb, but when the word was used with to, it will become a compound preposition. So we use according to as a preposition when just like to stated by or as stated by or as stated in. Example, the outlook for the investor is not bright according to the financial experts. So here see the outlook. We can say the outlook for the investors is not bright according to the financial experts. So according to their opinion. So here financial expert, here it's not, it was used for the only one person. It's a bird. But if it is the same one, when we need to use with one person opinion, we should not say by using according to, we should use in his opinion. In my opinion, in her opinion, she shouldn't have resigned earlier. In my opinion, she should have resigned earlier. So did you understand the difference between according to when we use as our opinion as a board opinion or a law opinion according to the government, according to a society. So according to society, because society people have norms and according to them we should behave. But I don't have the norms. Okay, though I have norms, those norms are not acceptable by other people. So that is why when I wanted to express my opinion, I should not use according to, I should use only in my opinion. And let us see the next one, across and through. Before going to know about it, we must know the basic difference between in and on. Just have a pay attention. So I'll tell you. See that the basic difference is that in refers to a thing which is not specifically located or situated, while see on refers to a thing which is specifically located. So you have to know that is which is not specifically located we use in, and we use on when it is specifically located. So we may translate on and in our own language according to our wish. So here it will be the best way to distinguish between these two words, in and on. So if we know the difference between in and on, we can understand the uses of across and through very well. So according to given one, see here the difference between across and through is similar to the difference between on and in. So we use through to talk about the movement or in three-dimensional space with the thing on all sides. So here just you need to go back and you need to listen the words which I told that when I told the difference between the in and on. So by that you can understand. So we walk across the field. The same example we can see. We walked across the field, and the next example we walked through the field. What is the meaning? What is the difference meaning between these two sentences? Okay, whether it is two or more. So here we need to understand the difference between the same sentence by using across and through. So we walked across the field. We walked through the wood or through the field. So what does by sentence using across it means? We were on the field. It means on the field. On the field means we specifically located the place. And we walked through the wood. That means just we entered, we specify, but it is not specifically. So that is the small difference between these two. So if you support me and the days to come, I am going to make some more videos like for all the common mistakes. Thank you for all the watching.